Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. श्रीला गुरुदेव की जय. All glories to all the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Cinmayi Mataji Devi Dasi from Charlotte, welcoming each one of you to our mid-morning Bhakti Sanga Japa session. Thank you, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. It was such a beautiful recitation of 10th chapter. Thank you so much. And it is time for us to move on to the next part of our session. May I know who all have joined today's call?
Hare Krishna Cinmayi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for your warm welcoming. This is Preeti Vilasini Devi Dasi from Atlanta. And thank you, Vinita Mataji, for the beautiful chanting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. And thank you, Mataji. Thank you for all your services. Thank you for giving several opportunities for all of us in this forum. And welcome, Mataji, to today's call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Cinmayi Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you, Mataji, once again for that beautiful recitation. It was so sweetly recited. And welcome, Mataji. Welcome to today's call, and all glories to all your services, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Cinmayi Radha Mataji, Danvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnavas. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for joining and giving your encouragement to all of us every day. And welcome, Mataji. Welcome to today's call. Anybody else would like to go ahead and introduce yourself? We have one more minute before we start. Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga Japa mid-morning session. And today we have our Chaitanya Bhagavat class. And the class will be given by Her Grace Antaranga Tulasi Mataji. So before we hand over the call, I would like to read today's quote by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. So the quote is, "We are in so many ways indebted. Our obligations are there. But if one surrenders fully unto Krishna, then he is no longer any more indebted to all these obligations. He is immune. At one stroke, he becomes liquidated from all obligations. Krishna is Mukunda, Mukunda means one who can offer you liberation from this material bondage. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This was said by His Divine Grace at New York on May 20th, 1966. Hare Krishna, Antaranga Tulasi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving your valuable time and coming to this forum to talk on the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his Chaitanya Bhagavat Leelas. And Mataji will be talking on Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Kanda, 10th chapter from texts 215 to 222. So we are all eagerly waiting, Mataji, to hear from you. So please take over, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm very happy to be once again back in the association of all wonderful devotees. Am I clearly audible?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Loud enough?
Yes, Mataji.
So I'm very, very happy, and I'm even more happy to be speaking on this particular Chaitanya Bhagavat. It's always very special and favorite for me. And that too, Madhya Kanda, this chapter 10, which I have been allocated, it describes the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Srivastakur's house while performing the Mahaprakash Leela. So it's really a very beautiful pastime, beautiful section. And I'm very thankful to all of you for having me here on this section of Chaitanya Bhagavat. So we'll start by offering our prayers at the lotus feet of our Acharyas, spiritual master. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Nitinamine Nama Acharya Padaya. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji, I think you can go off video because your network is not great. You can just give from audio, Mataji.
Just a second. I think I'm not connected to Wi-Fi maybe. Oh, yeah. Now is it better? Is my connection?
Mataji, I don't think your connection is great, so it'll be better to just give audio.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, am I audible? Is it better now?
It's better, Mataji, but I think you should close the video because the video is creating a lot of interruption. It's also getting pixelated. So just speak from audio, that will be better.
Okay, because now I'm connected to my Wi-Fi.
Okay, let's continue. Yeah, let's continue. If it breaks again, we can switch off video.
Yeah. Sorry. Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Nagara Gramatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So, reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Kanda, chapter 10, text 215. Correct? Yeah. Maji, shall I share the screen?
Yeah, you can go ahead, Mataji.
Actually, I'm sharing the screen from one another device. So, do I have permission to do that?
What is the device name?
Gopijana Vallabh Prabhu.
Yeah, you should be able to do it now.
Okay. So we are reading from this chapter 10, which is described of Madhya Leela, which is describing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's concluding pastimes of his Mahaprakash Leela. So this Mahaprakash Leela is a very wonderful pastime. It's not just, it's actually a huge pastime which has many pastimes within it. So Mahaprakash Leela is basically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the first time, almost publicly to his associates, he revealed himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So can some of you who are regularly coming for these classes tell me what are the different forms that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed during the course of this Mahaprakash Leela?
He showed as Supreme Personality of Godhead. He showed as Ramchandra Bhagavan. He showed that six-handed form. There's Ram and Krishna and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He showed as Varahadev. He showed almost all the incarnations.
Jai. He showed the
Hare
form of
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yeah.
So like this, in this Mahaprakash Leela, Sri Gaur Sundar, he revealed his different forms to the devotees according to their respective moods or their respective backgrounds. Like for example, Ramchandra's form, to whom did Gauranga Mahaprabhu show? He showed it to Murari Gupta.
Murari Gupta.
Why? Yeah. Why?
Hanuman Bhakta.
Yes.
He was
because
Hanuman, he wanted only Ram.
Hanuman himself. So therefore, according to the mood of that devotee, the Lord revealed his form. There's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which describes this. It says, Yadyad dhiyaya urudaya vibhavayanti tattad vapu pranayase sadanugrahaya. The Lord, He is Yadyad vibhaya urugaya vibhavayanti. The devotees, how they think of the Lord or how they desire to worship the Lord, sadanugrahaya, out of his own compassion and mercy, the Lord tattad vapu pranayase. He shows himself in that form. So that is a beautiful nature of the Lord. It is a quality of the Lord that he can reciprocate with anyone in any rasa to the full extent. And that opulence of the Lord, he is the only person who can do that. He is the only person with whom anyone in any relation will be fully satisfied. No one can ever, no other person has this quality. No matter in this material world, in these three worlds, from Brahma, Shiva, the demigods, our relatives, our mother, father, husband, children, from anyone, we cannot expect that they will fully satisfy us in the relationship. So because that aspect only the Lord has, because he is in our heart, he perfectly understands what we want. And he is in a position that after knowing what we want, he can fully fulfill it. So therefore, this is a very beautiful quality of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Therefore, he is called Akhila Rasamrita Murti. And that opulence Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu manifested in this Mahaprakash Leela in the house of Srivastava. So as he performs this pastime, the particular section which we're reading today is very beautiful. Previous to this, it's continuation of a pastime happening, of one particular incident. So when this Mahaprakash Leela was happening, there was one person, one devotee called Mukunda, very close associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very dear, beautiful singer. He used to sing so sweetly. And in fact, if we see, it was this Mukunda, previous chapters, if you remember, Pundrik Vidyanidhi comes to Navadvip. And Gadadhar Pandit, Mukunda, he is the one who takes Gadadhar Pandit to meet Pundrik Vidyanidhi. And then we know that how Gadadhar Pandit was thinking that when he looked at Pundrik Vidyanidhi, looking very materialistic, he was chewing betel leaf. And he was served by so many people. People are fanning him. So many scented oils were in front of him, lying on a silk couch with so many beautiful pillows. And he looked very materialistic, sense enjoyer. But Gadadhar Pandit was thinking what kind of devotee he is. Mukunda understood the mind of Gadadhar and he began to sweetly sing a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. When Pundrik Vidyanidhi heard that verse, he began to reveal his ecstatic symptoms as a pure devotee. So when Gadadhar Pandit saw this pastime, saw this behavior of Pundrik Vidyanidhi, he understood that this person is surely great devotee. Then we see how Gadadhar Pandit accepted instruction from Pundrik Vidyanidhi. So Mukunda was such a great devotee. He was the one who introduced them and he was a very well-known devotee in the Navadvip circle. So during Mahaprabhu's Mahaprakash Leela, Mahaprabhu was showing mercy to everyone, calling everyone and joking with everyone like that. But he was not looking at Mukunda. So then Mukunda is feeling bad. Srivas Thakur, he asked the Lord, why are you not giving mercy to Mukunda? I'm shortening the pastime because you all would have just come across this entire pastime in detail. So then Gauranga Mahaprabhu tells that this Mukunda, he very closely mixes with people with other Sampradaya people, especially the Mayavadis. And because of this, he commits offense to Krishna. And I am not interested in seeing him. So then Mukunda was feeling so bad that Gaur Sundar will never see me again. He'll never talk to me again. He was lamenting. And then Srivas Thakur, he went and asked Mahaprabhu, if it is so, then when will Mukunda ever get your mercy? Is there any chance something we can do to rectify this? At that time, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu says that, okay, after millions and millions of birth, one time Mukunda can see me and I will give him my mercy. So when Mukunda heard this, Mukunda was in that room, he was hearing what Mahaprabhu was saying. When the moment he heard that after millions of lifetime, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is going to give me mercy, Mukunda was so happy, he was in ecstasy. He began to dance and shout and said that, see, I am not completely bereft of the Lord's mercy. After million lifetime, I am going to see the Lord again. I am going to get his mercy again. He was so happy thinking of that. And when Gaur Sundar saw this wonderful ecstasy of Mukunda, he immediately embraced Mukunda and he began to glorify himself. I was just joking with you because you are a right person. I have all the right to joke with you. You are my dearmost devotee. You are my dearmost singer. And no matter how, even if you commit millions of offenses also, they are immediately forgiven in one moment. In that purpose, Siddhanta Thakur says that devotees like Mukunda who are eternal associates of the Lord, they can never commit an offense. So like that, Mahaprabhu performed the sweet pastime. And from this verse on, which we're reading today, Mukunda is replying to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that I was just, you are my devotee, you are a very pure devotee. So when Mahaprabhu glorified him like this, after hearing Mahaprabhu's solacing words, Mukunda cries and he begins to speak his heart out. So that is where we are reading today. Text 215. Bhakta bhakti namani lumui charamuke dekhile bhakta shunya ki paibe sukhe. I am so wretched that I have not accepted devotional service. Since I am devoid of devotional service, how will I become happy by seeing you? Mukunda said, purport, Mukunda said, I am an unfortunate person devoid of the Lord's service. Therefore, I have not accepted the importance of devotional service with my body, mind, and speech. Devotional service is full of bliss. I am devoid of devotional service. So, how will I achieve happiness by seeing you? So, Mukunda is of course, out of humility, he is speaking. He is exactly behaving, he is properly exemplifying how a devotee should behave. How a devotee considers himself the most insignificant person. Even though what Mukunda is speaking, these are not his quality. He is certainly not the wretched person who has not accepted devotional service. He is a person who is the most liberated, the most elevated personality, and he has accepted devotional service so much that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "You have conquered me." But this mood and these words that he is speaking, this is what we all should instill in our heart. This is the mood that we should have. So he mentions a very beautiful point here that because I have not accepted devotional service, I am not becoming happy by looking at you. Sri Gaurasundar is present in front of him. The Supreme Lord is present in front of him. He's saying that I am not becoming happy by seeing you. Why is this? Because I don't have devotional service. It's a very beautiful point which we will be discussing throughout the class today. In fact, Mukunda, he now goes on giving different examples of different personalities who saw the Lord face to face, but they were not happy or they were not having a loving relationship with the Lord. Rather, they had enmity because they did not have devotional service. So we'll continue. Vishwarupa tumhara dekhila Duryodhan, Jaha dekhi bare vede kare anveshan. Duryodhana saw your universal form, which some people search throughout the Vedas to see. But what? Duryodhana's darshan of the universal form is described as follows. Desiring to avoid unnecessary battle, Maharaj Yudhishthir sent Krishna as a messenger to Duryodhana, the head of the Kauravas, prior to the commencement of the battle of Kurukshetra, and proposed that the kingdom be divided in half to maintain peace. Duryodhana did not agree to this proposal and conspired to arrest Lord Krishna. As a result, Lord Krishna became angry and said to Duryodhana, "Oh Duryodhana, you desire to arrest me, considering that I am alone? But such a desire is completely foolish. Just behold, all the Pandavas, Andhakas, Vrishnis, Adityas, Rudras, Vasus, and sages are all present." After speaking in this way, Lord Krishna loudly laughed, and the demigods, Pandavas, Andhakas, and Vrishnis, who were all as effulgent as fire and resembled a thumb in size, began to appear from the body of Lord Krishna. In this way, Lord Krishna agitated, shocked, and frightened Duryodhana by manifesting his universal form, and then left the assembly. Dekhiya o swavamshe marila Duryodhan, na paila sukha bhakti shunyaro karan. Yet, even after seeing the universal form of the Lord, Duryodhana, along with his family, were all killed. He did not obtain any happiness because he was devoid of devotional service. People who are engrossed in material concept consider this material world as the temporary universal form of the Lord. Although Duryodhana was enriched in material knowledge, saw such a universal form of the Lord, he was killed along with his family because he was cheated from seeing the actual form of the Lord. Although due to his piety, Duryodhana saw the Lord within the material world created by the external energy of the Lord, since he did not see the actual form of the Lord, but rather considered the Lord material, he could not become inclined toward the service of the Lord. That is why it was impossible for Duryodhana to achieve any devotional happiness. Rather, since he was averse to the service of the Lord, he was destroyed along with his family as a mark of punishment. So this beautiful example Mukunda gives of how Duryodhana saw the universal form of the Lord. Siddhartha Thakur explains the purport that why did the Lord happen to show the universal form? The Lord came as a peacemaker, but he was insulted and was trying to being arrested. And then the Lord showed the universal form to Duryodhana. But Duryodhana, despite seeing the universal form, which the different sages, they try to do austerity and try to perceive, the Lord directly showed it to him. Yet he was not inclined to serve the Lord, he was only averse to the Lord. Why was this? Because he did not have devotional service. So this is very interesting, that how even we can see the Lord, because everywhere in our house, in the temple, the Lord is present in the form of the Archa Vigraha. And this Archa Vigraha, the deity form, is not different from the Lord. In fact, even in our house, suppose we don't have a deity, we all have Srimad Bhagavatam in our house. Srimad Bhagavatam is also a form of the Lord. It is the Lord himself. Srila Prabhupada in one purport, in Canto 1, Chapter 4, he mentions that how Bhagavatam is incarnation. Srimad Bhagavatam is an incarnation of the Lord, is a literary incarnation. And the compiler of Srimad Bhagavatam, Vyasdev, is also an incarnation of the Lord. And when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam from a person Bhagavat, from the right source, then since Bhagavatam is also the Lord, it is compiled by the Lord, Vyasdev, and it is being spoken from a true representative of Vyasdev. In such a situation, if we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, then we can achieve the same perfection or the same blessings which we can achieve in the personal presence of the Lord. This point is repeated in Srimad Bhagavatam many times. I recollect reading it in the purport of Canto 1, Chapter 4. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the Lord himself. So we are able to reach out to these forms of the Lord even today. Still, when we see Bhagavatam or when we see the deity form of the Lord, do we feel devotional happiness? Now, what is devotional happiness? It is mentioned in this purport. He could not become inclined toward the service of the Lord. Sometimes when we go and look at the deity form of the Lord, we'll be so happy. Wow, he looks so beautiful. Look at the way the Lord is decorated. Look at his hair. Look at his face. We feel very happy looking at the pleasant sight of the deity. But is that devotional happiness? Yes, that is to some extent. It's good that we are feeling happiness looking at the form of the Lord. But what is real devotional happiness? Real devotional happiness is when we see the form of the Lord and we enjoy looking at the form of the Lord, we also feel inclined to serving the Lord. Immediately, our inclination to serve the Lord should increase and we should start doing more service. If we are doing more service and we feel interest in doing service, that means our devotional happiness quotient is increasing. That means we are having devotional service, and therefore when we see the Lord, we are able to feel devotional happiness, and that results in increasing our service. So ultimately, it is important to be inclined to serve the Lord. So that is why this beautiful example of Duryodhan, that how despite seeing the Lord, there are many examples. As we go ahead, he'll be quoting Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, who saw the beautiful form of Varahadev and Narasimhadev. Nashra Jayanti is coming now. So they saw the Lord's form face to face, but they didn't feel any happiness. They're feeling anger and enmity. So this is something that we should learn from, that when we see the Lord, are we feeling the same? Now we see the Lord, one way we can see the Lord is in the form of Archa Vigraha, as we discussed. Another way we can see the Lord is when we see Bhagavatam. And there is one more way in which we can see the Lord. And we can know whether we get angry or not when we see the Lord. When we see the deity form, it's all very nice. We know he's the Supreme Lord. That theoretically we know, oh, this is the Supreme Lord. We should vote. We go to the temple. We offer our obeisances. We pray to the Lord. We ask for certain things. And we thank the Lord for certain things. And we come. When we read Bhagavatam, we open sincerely. We try to understand. And we read Srimad Bhagavatam. And then in our life, day to day, there is an event happening. Somebody scolds us for some reason. Maybe we made a mistake, or I did not do a mistake. When I go to the temple, somebody scolds me or they push me, and I really get angry and I start blaming that person. Because of you, this happened. You spoiled my mood in the temple. I was praying to the Lord. I was having a sweet conversation with the Lord. I was enjoying the kirtan, and your behavior, it disrupted my mood and you spoiled my day in the temple. So in this kind of a situation, whom are we actually blaming? We are actually blaming the Supreme Lord Krishna. Because anything and everything happened, it cannot happen without the permission of the Lord. Even a blade of grass, we know, moves by the permission of the Lord only. So anything that happens to us is actually happening by the will of the Lord. So when there is an unpleasant situation in our life, at that time, if we blame another person, if we blame the time, or if we get angry or agitated, then whom are we actually getting angry or agitated upon? We're actually getting angry or agitated upon the Lord. And why does this happen? This happens because we lack in devotional service. We see in Bhagavatam so many examples. In fact, Mukunda himself is a wonderful example of how when something unpleasant happened, he did not go and fight with the Lord. You're saying you're not going to see me for millions of lifetime. Why? What is such a big mistake I did that you're going to punish me like this? He was always just wanting to receive the blessing of the Lord. He saw everything as a blessing of the Lord. We see Parikshit Maharaj, we see Kunti Maharani, we see the Pandavas, we see Chitraketu Maharaj who appeared as the demon Vritrasura, we see Bali Maharaj. All of them, they went through so many unpleasant circumstances, but in everything they never blamed anyone. Parikshit Maharaj never blamed the Shringi, the young boy, or Shamika Rishi. He saw the Lord's hand in it. And he said, oh wow, the Lord has graciously overtaken me in form of this curse. Now I can get chance to get away from this royal activities and go and spend time hearing Krishna Katha. Chitraketu Maharaj, when he was cursed by Parvati to become a demon, he was very happy. He said, this is the will of the Lord. And Shiva is so happy looking at the accepting behavior of Chitraketu. He tells Parvati, just look, this is a sign of a devotee of Vishnu. This is a sign of a person who has devotion in his heart. They don't mind whether they are in heaven or they are in hell. They're always fearless. So this is the quality of a devotee. So this is what Sri Brahma says in his prayer to Krishna in the 10th canto. Tattenu kampam susamekshamana bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. So when there is a difficulty situation, one doesn't blame anyone and one accepts it as the Lord's mercy and continues to perform devotional service in that situation, then that is the sign of a person who is having devotional service. He sees Lord in every situation of his life. So there are different stages. Once when we see the Lord in the deity form or in Bhagavatam, we are able to see the Lord and we are, with devotion, we are getting happiness in that. Then there's another stage in which in our life, in every situation, when we try to see the Lord. That is the test of our devotional service. So Mukunda goes on. He describes some more situations where persons who saw Krishna but they couldn't realize him. Heno bhakti namanila amichara mukhe dekhile ki hava ara mora prema sukhe যেখানে চলিলা তুমি রুক্মিণী হরণে দেখিলা নরেন্দ্র তোমা গরুড় বাহনে अभिषेके हईला राजे राजेश्वर नाम देखेला नरेंद्र सब ज्योतिर्मय धाम ब्रह्मादि देखिते जाहा करे अभिलाष विदर्भ नगरे ताहा करिला प्रकाश ताहा देखी मोरे सब नरेंद्र गण ना पाइला सुख भक्ति शून्यर कारण. I am so wretched that I have not accepted devotional service. Since I am devoid of devotional service, how will I achieve love of God by seeing you? When you went to kidnap Rukmini, all the kings saw you riding on the back of Garuda. During the Abhishek named Rajarajeshwara, all the kings saw your effulgent form. In the city of Vidarbha, you manifested your form that personalities like Lord Brahma desire to see. In spite of seeing your form, all those kings were killed. They could not achieve any happiness because they were devoid of devotional service. The kidnapping of Rukmini by Lord Krishna is described as follows. Rukmini Devi, the manifestation of Lakshmi, appeared as the daughter of Bhishmaka, the king of Vidarbha. She heard about the beauty and qualities of Lord Krishna from various persons and became attached to him within her mind. Considering Sri Krishna as a suitable groom, King Bhishmaka resolved to give Rukmini to him in charity. At that time, Rukmani's brother Rukmi, who was envious of Krishna, forbade his father and fixed Shishupala as the groom. On hearing this, Rukmani became extremely distressed, and in order to convey her attachment for Krishna, she sent him a letter through a reliable Brahmana. She also requested that Krishna should kidnap her before Shishupala comes to marry her, and she informed him as how that should be done. When Lord Krishna and the Brahmana arrived by chariot in the city of Vidarbha on the day before the marriage, the Brahmana went to Rukmani and informed her of Krishna's arrival and plan. Then, according to family custom, just a second. When, according to family custom, Rukmani went the day before marriage to visit the temple of goddess Ambika, Lord Krishna immediately placed her on his chariot, defeated the kings who were Shishupala's well-wishers, and departed for his own abode. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, chapter 53 and 54. So he gives two examples here, Mukunda, in this particular verse. One is of the kings who are present in Vidarbha, the birthplace of Rukmani, during the marriage of Rukmani, during the arrangements of Rukmani's Shishupal marriage. So many kings were there. And when Lord Krishna came riding on the back of Garuda to kidnap Rukmani, they all saw Krishna's form, but they couldn't get any happiness. Rather, they were killed. And another is during the Abhishek named Rajarajeshwara, which is the Rajasuya sacrifice done by Maharaj Yudhishthir. There also some kings were enemies of Krishna, even though they saw the Lord sitting and punishing Shishupal. Still, they couldn't realize the Lord. They couldn't see the Lord as Supreme Lord. They couldn't develop loving affection for him. So today it's Rukmani Dwadashi, the appearance day of Rukmani Devi, and we are very happy to read this verse today, which describes in purport, Siddhanta Thakur, he entirely describes the beautiful pastime of Rukmani. So when I was reading this purport, I felt one similarity that I have today with Rukmani Devi is this chant, that actually this chant, the similarity that with Rukmani we all have. Everyone in this world today, we all have the similarity with Rukmani Devi, that we all have a chance to develop loving attachment to the Lord without even seeing him. One may say that how can I develop loving attachment? How can I develop devotional service? How can I dedicate my whole life to a person whom I have not even seen? Archa Vigraha, you're telling the Lord is present, but for me, it's just a idol. It's a matter, it's just a stone or marble or whatever. Unless we have faith in the scriptures and we have accepted devotional service, even theoretically, people can't accept that the Lord is there. Or Srimad Bhagavatam, how can I see the Lord in that? But here we have an example of Rukmani Devi. Just by hearing, Rukmani had never seen Krishna. She just heard the glories of Krishna from personalities like Narada and other sages who used to come to her father's kingdom. They used to come to the assembly of Bhishmaka Maharaj, and she used to serve them, and in this way they used to share with her about Krishna. So just by hearing the glories of Krishna, she got faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She got faith that Krishna is a perfect person in this world. Whatever Krishna does is perfect. She got this, her faith was so strong that she was ready to accept a person whom she had never seen. She did not even know that when she wrote this letter through the Brahmana and she sent the letter to Krishna, whether Krishna is going to accept, first of all, whether this Brahmana will reach Krishna, will he be able to get access to Krishna, will Krishna seeing the letter, you can imagine in the situation 5,000 years ago when the Varnashram system was so strict, and imagine a king receiving a letter which says, I have never seen you, I don't know how you look, but I have heard of you so much and my heart is completely yours. Please come and kidnap me, and please come to my state, and there my wedding is already fixed with one person, with a great king. Shishupal was a very powerful king, and he was assisted by great kings like Jarasandha and Rukmi, and many of them were there. So, and Krishna was having many enemies at that time around him. So they were all there, and she's requesting Krishna to come there and kidnap him and go. So whether Krishna would accept that also, she doesn't know. But she had full faith and she sent this letter. She was ready to give her entire life to Krishna. In fact, in the letter she says, if you don't accept me, don't think I'll accept Shishupal. I'll wait for many lifetime till you accept me. So like this, Rukmini mentions in her letter. So this is a example. She is an exemplary person whom we can follow. That just by sincerely reading Srimad Bhagavatam, just by sincerely hearing about Krishna constantly, it is possible to develop unflinching faith to such an extent that we can completely give our heart to Krishna. We can completely fall in love with Krishna. That power is there in Krishna Katha. And that Rukmini Devi exemplified. How she completely fell in love and she completely surrendered herself to Krishna just by hearing about him. And then so beautifully Krishna and Krishna's reciprocation to Rukmini is also so beautiful. First of all, Krishna received the Brahmana with great respect who brought the message of Rukmini. And then when he saw Rukmini's message, he realized there was no more time. He immediately left Dwaraka. He left all his urgent work, whatever was there, and he ran to Vidarbha. And he fearlessly kidnapped Rukmini. He took her hand, he pulled her onto the chariot, killed all the kings, and he went. And there is the beautiful situation when Balram also comes. Balram gets the news in Dwaraka that Krishna has gone to Vidarbha to kidnap Rukmini. He immediately comes to help Krishna. And by the time Krishna is fighting with the kings who are against him, who are supporting Shishupal, Balram comes and he also helps. Balram with all the army of Dwaraka comes and they also fight. And then they both capture Rukmini. And there Krishna is ready to kill Rukmini. And at that time, Krishna sees Rukmini, and Rukmini is not very much in favor of killing her loving brother. And Krishna so beautifully reciprocates at that time. He does not kill Rukmini, he sends him away, he sends him back to his kingdom, giving a small token punishment only. And we see how sensitive Krishna is to his devotees. So then, and then they come back to Dwaraka, and then the beautiful wedding of Rukmini and Krishna takes place. And then we see even after that, Rukmini shows such an amount of courage and bravery. We see, you know, she was so courageous to send a letter to Krishna, and she came with him back to Dwaraka. And then we see that the relationship between Rukmini and Krishna is so sweet. Rukmini was very submissive, very soft when she is with Krishna. And there is this beautiful pastime in Krishna book, which is summary of 10th canto. We are so fortunate to have Krishna book actually. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, one purport, Srila Prabhupada says that the essence of all scriptures is Srimad Bhagavatam. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, the most beautiful, the essence of all is the 10th canto, the pastimes of Sri Krishna. And I have completed writing that book. I have completed translating that in the form, in the essence form in this book of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada says I have completed that, and we are so fortunate to have this Krishna book, which is so beautifully written in the form of a story format, so interesting, so amazing, and such a condensed form of the beautiful pastimes of Krishna in 10th canto. So there is this one chapter there which is extremely long, the talk between Krishna and Rukmini. So Krishna tries to bring out the anger in Rukmini. He wants to see Rukmini angry, but Rukmini will never get angry with Krishna. In fact, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a section in Antya Leela where Gadadhar Pandit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wants to bring out the anger of Gadadhar Pandit. And no matter what he would do, Gadadhar Pandit would not get angry. So in that section, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that Gadadhar Pandit's mood was very similar to that of Rukmini. She also was like this, that no matter how much Krishna would try to provoke her, she would not get angry. So Krishna, he tries to provoke her by saying so many things, you know, why did you have to marry me? I am just a coward. I'm just a cowherd boy raised in this. Nobody knows where I was. Where do I belong to? Some people say I'm a cowherd boy of Vrindavan. Some say I am a king. I myself don't know where I've properly grown. I was grown with the cowherd boys. And then he says that, Jarasandha attacked me so many times and I used to run away from the battlefield. So I'm such a coward. I'm ranchor. And so in this way, he talks about himself, that I am not at all a suitable husband for you, Rukmini. You are endowed with all the best qualities. In fact, you should have married Shishupal. And by this time, when the talks are happening between Krishna and Rukmini already is the mother of 10 sons. They are all grown up. So she's she's no more a very young girl when she got married. But Krishna tells her that even now you are free, Rukmini, if you feel, after having heard from my own mouth about my disqualifications, if you feel you can still go, you can leave. And I'm sure there are many kings who are still ready to accept you. They'll take care of you like a queen. They'll treat you wonderfully if you go to them. So you can just imagine Rukmini's mind. She's serving Krishna with all her heart. She's left everything and come to Krishna. And then Krishna is speaking like this. But Rukmini never gets angry. She just, out of her love and hearing these very strong words from Krishna, she just faints. She simply, when Krishna is speaking all these things, she doesn't speak a word back. She is only slowly fanning Krishna with a white chamara. As she's fanning and she's hearing, slowly, she's getting weak and weak. Her heart is breaking. She's getting scared. She's perspiring. And when it goes to an ultimate point, the chamara drops from her hand and she just faints. And then Krishna immediately, he sees so much love Rukmini has for Krishna. He is so moved by her. He slowly takes her on his lap, and the Krishna book, Prabhupada describes it so beautifully. I would tell that all of you, when you, after the class, if possible, you can go and read this chapter in the Krishna book. So Krishna very lovingly places her face on his lap, and he sprinkles water and he tries to bring her back to consciousness. He lovingly caresses her and he slowly brings her, and then he explains to Rukmini, why did you get so scared and why are you crying or lamenting? I was just joking with you. I wanted to see you get angry. And then when Rukmini understands the mind of Krishna, that he wanted to provoke her anger, then immediately she wakes up and she begins to refute the arguments Krishna gave. Each and every single point that Krishna had mentioned as a disqualification, she refutes each and every point of that in such a beautiful, such a intelligent, such a wonderful way. It shows how intelligent she was. Of course, she's Srimati Radharani's expansion herself. She's the potency of the Lord. And then Krishna is very pleased when he hears these wonderful replies from Rukmini. Then she gets back into the mood and she answers. Still, she doesn't get angry with Krishna. She just replies what all he said. She just replies to the points at which he had mentioned. So this is the beautiful dealings between Krishna and Rukmini. So we can always pray to Srimati Rukmini Devi that may we also be able to, develop faith, develop 100% faith that whatever Krishna does is always correct in our life. Whatever circumstances come, we should be able to see that that is Krishna's hand. It is Krishna's desire that this happened to us. And we can always, in all circumstances, serve Krishna and see Krishna in a nice way. In this way, like Mukunda says, if we don't have devotional service, we cannot see Krishna even if he is present in front of us. So therefore, we should pray to all the beautiful devotees of the Lord, like Mukunda, Rukmini Devi, all of them, that may we get devotional service and be able to see Krishna. And when we see Krishna, may we have the inclination to serve him. May we see Krishna in the deity form. When we go to the temple, we can see Krishna there and we get the desire to serve him. In Srimad Bhagavatam, may we be able to realize this Krishna himself. And when we realize that Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself, it is such a serious matter. Then when we read Bhagavatam, we will start applying those principles in our life. Srimad Bhagavatam is a very tricky book. It's often heard, especially Gauranga Darshan Prabhu often mentions in his class, that how Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also just like I mentioned at the beginning of the class, Yadyad Dhyaya Urgaya Vibhavayanti. The way we reciprocate with the Lord, the way we desire to serve the Lord, in that way the Lord reciprocates with us. So Srimad Bhagavatam also, if we are not very sincere, while reading Bhagavatam, then Bhagavatam will not be very sincere to us at revealing Krishna. The way we approach Bhagavatam, that way only Bhagavatam will approach us. If someone approaches Bhagavatam with a desire to become a scholar, read very nicely and showcase it in front of everyone, show off his scholarliness, then Bhagavatam will not reveal Krishna. Bhagavatam will only give him the scholarliness. And he will be showing off, but he won't get the ultimate benefit of Bhagavatam. If we try to cheat Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam will cheat us back. So therefore, we should pray to these personalities that maybe when we read Bhagavatam and we hear the glories of Krishna from Bhagavatam, we should be able to get faith in that and develop faith in Krishna, develop faith in the loving reciprocation of Krishna. And as we hear, hearing is the only way. Rukmini Devi is example of that. Just by Shravanam, we can achieve devotional service. We can achieve love of God just by hearing. And therefore, we should regularly hear Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. In that verse, Srila Prabhupada, in the word to word, he says regularly. And in the translation, he also mentions it again. So, very important, we should regularly hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Daily we should hear Bhagavatam. And by hearing only, our heart will get purified and we will get faith in Krishna. And then devotional service will be instilled in our heart. And then we can see the Lord everywhere. And just as Mukunda said, unless we have devotional service, we cannot see the Lord. So thank you very much for giving me opportunity to speak on this beautiful verses of Chaitanya Bhagavat written by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for this very, very wonderful class. And I would say it was a very practical class. You gave us tips how to go closer to the Lord. Thank you so much, Mataji. It was so beautiful when you said what exactly is devotional happiness. I had never thought of it that way. So yeah, I just go blindly stand in front of the deity and admire him. So thank you for making me realize that today we have, our inclination to serve the Lord should increase. That is real devotional happiness. And how you talked about Rukmini Devi was so beautiful, Mataji. Just by hearing, we can surrender. So a big lesson today. And I will go back and read again the talks between Rukmini Devi and Lord Krishna today, Mataji. Yes, it was a long time back in that Krishna book. So yes.
Very sweet. It's really, when I was reading that chapter, I was completely amazed by Rukmini's qualities. The way when you hear Krishna's points, it seems so valid. And when Rukmini opens her mouth, the way she refutes Krishna's points just proves her brilliance. And as you said, in my Bhakti Vaibhav class, that is where I heard this point and I understood this. We're just discussing about seeing the Lord, especially in Mayapur. Darshanarthi is such an opulence to see Chandanyatra Vesh, everything going on. Every day, Radha Madhav is so wonderful decorated. Rashtra Sakhi, Mahaprabhu, Panchatattva. So just discussing that in the Bhakti Vaibhav class, that yes, I was telling my teacher that when I see the Lord, I feel so happy, I'm enjoying the Lord. So at that time, my teacher told me, he told me that, so after you enjoy the Lord, when you come back home, do you feel like serving the Lord more? Or do you feel anything, the Lord was so beautiful, what do you do for that? So I said, it is not like that, Prabhu. When I go to the temple, I just enjoy seeing the Lord and then I come back home and then I do my rest of my activities. So he said that if we don't, when we see the Lord and we don't ask for service or we don't, devotionally, our devotional service doesn't increase. Our service attitude doesn't increase when we see the Lord. Then when we see and enjoy the Lord, it is actually sense enjoyment. We are enjoying the sense of our eye. Eyes like to see pleasant things, like seeing a beautiful piece of artwork. So instead of seeing a beautiful piece of artwork, you're seeing the Lord's form and it's so beautiful. So you're doing sense gratification. But then he said that, of course, since you're seeing the Lord's form, certainly there is a very limited amount of spiritual benefit that you're getting. But it is nothing in comparison to the unlimited amount of spiritual benefit one can receive when one sees the form of the Lord with a devotional heart. So that point was very
Beautiful, Mataji.
it had a great impact on me. That is what I actually shared today.
Thank you so much for sharing it, Mataji. So beautiful. Thank you. Mataji, do you have time for, I think Sukhakara Prabhu wants to share his realizations. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna, my dearest Antaranga Tulasi, Mataji. So now you have become mother and you delivered a child in Mayapur. I think your daughter is coming, Rukmini Devi has come to your house. That's why I am feeling inner when you deliver the class. And the child has been hearing Bhagavatam from the time it has come to your home. So I am sure, definitely it's going to be a bigger speaker and it will glorify the whole world. But today you did a fantastic class. But nobody has told about this devotional happiness. So something unheard of. And also, we see the deities every day, but we don't feel, we do the service, not getting feeling to serve more. We told me we should have the feeling to serve more and hear more. But you gave a very good clue that by hearing Bhagavatam and reading 10th canto or reading the Krishna book every night, you can start seeing Krishna like the way Rukmini saw Krishna and how she told that Bhuvana Sundara. She's not met also, but she declared as the Bhuvana Sundara. So it is a fantastic class. It is really awesome, and I'm very, very proud that you are from our Shamadesh, Sharjah. Now you are in Mayapur, and you are a very celebrated mother in Mayapur. All the best, Mataji, for all your class. You are really a pure devotee. You got liberated already now. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Everything is only by your blessings.
Radhe Krishna Madrastu. Guru Maharaj is blessing you a lot. I'm sure you'll come back to Mayapur soon and be with you all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
What is your child's name? What is your daughter's name?
Her name is Punyashloka Saci.
Jai. Punyashloka and also Saci Mata. Good. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Beautiful name, Mataji, and congratulations. One Mataji was raising her hand. Golokeshwari Mataji, is she still there?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Nirmal Pranams. Hare Krishna Antaranga Mathaji. Thank you so much for delivering such a wonderful class, and very nicely you explained about the service attitude and purification to the heart, especially when some difficult situation come, how to handle it. Very practical class you gave, Mataji. Thank you so much. I had a doubt who is Mukunda in Krishna Leela. So there's someone who already posted that he's a person who is giving honey to Krishna. So got the answer.
Who has honey
Madhukanta.
finger.
Okay.
Madhukanta.
Madhukanta. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Very
Mataji.
good.
Thank you, Mataji. And Mataji, in chat, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji is thanking you. Sukhasagari Mataji is thanking you. Kirtida Sundari Mataji is thanking you, Mataji. They're all saying very nice class. And Kirtida Sundari Mataji is also wishing you heartiest congratulations.
East or west, my Antaranga Tulasi is the best. You are the best. You are the best.
Haribol.
Thank you, Mataji, for coming on the call and delivering such a beautiful class. Very grateful to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. And congratulations to you. Very bold.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Always give me such wonderful sections of Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Hare Krishna
And
Mataji, thank you so much for a very, very nice class. Especially the glories of Rukmini and Srimad Bhagavatam was very beautiful. Thank you so much. Very nice. I liked all the verses you covered and the beautiful explanations. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Mataji.
on Rukmini Dwadashi, you told so much about Rukmini Mata. Really, so much thankful to you.
Thank you. I was very happy when the section came up. When I was reading, I said, wow, Rukmini Devi is it's so amazing.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful to Bhakti Sanga Group. It's all the verses came like
Jai.
that.
In fact, in here in Navadvip, there is a place called Chandrasekhar Bhavan, which is the headquarters of Gaudiya Math. It is now known as Chaitanya Math. So that place, during Mahaprabhu's time, in Chandrasekhar Acharya's house, Mahaprabhu would perform drama. That was their drama place. So there, when they would perform drama on different pastimes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would take the role of Rukmini Devi or Lakshmi Devi. And it is
Jai.
described, Guru Maharaj, when he used to give that class on Chaitanya Leela, when the section used to come, he used to explain that when Rukmini Devi would, when Mahaprabhu would come as Rukmini Devi, no one will be able to identify that this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He looked just like Rukmini Devi. And he was so perfect like Rukmini Devi that people were all amazed by her beauty. They were thinking, who is this who is so beautiful, who has come to Navadvipa? So, just remembering that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would perform the role of Rukmini Devi during dramas.
Beautiful, Mataji. Beautiful. Sukhakara Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Very, very beautiful class as always, Mataji. I just commented on the chat, but I thought I will just say this. Just like you said, Rukmini Devi reminds us, how we can just by remembering or hearing about Krishna, we can, get pure love for Krishna. Like that, yeah, I think you're also an example how we can see that at a very young age, somebody can get devotion to Krishna. So you don't have to wait until you retire or you're 60 or, like that. So I just wanted to convey that, and congratulations on your baby. And I'm sure she'll be a great devotee like you.
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna,
Mataji. If you please bless her, that she comes up as that I can properly train her to be a good devotee. And since Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness is the birthright of every person, right? They have, but I should train her properly. So please give me the blessings that I can train her properly. And I am fortunate that at a young age I got Krishna consciousness. Please bless me that I can take it properly and I can be a good devotee.
Sure, Mataji, Mayapur Dham will take care of you. Guru Maharaj will take care of you.
Thank you so much to all of you.
Mataji. Thank you so much. So with your permission, we'll end the call, Mataji. Pay our obeis. Mataji, in chat, many Matajis are thanking you and congratulating you, Mataji. So we'll end the call
Thank
here.
you, Mataji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu
Kripa sindhuvasya patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo
namo
namaha.
namaha.
Chaitanya Bhagavat
Jai.
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 Prabhupada ki jai.
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 Tusi Mataji ki jai.
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 Hare Krishna, Dharma Pranam
Gauranga.
Mataji. Congratulations.
Nityananda.
Mataji,
Gauranga.
Dandavat Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada.